I'm still trying to figure this out. It's like I forgot how to do a live stream. I really did. I mean, there's a hot mic going on. I got a little fan because it's really hot. But I don't know how bad the background noise will be. But I mean, still gonna do this, right? Let's do it.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
Did somebody say tick, tick, boom? Hey, we are live, man. I'm happy to be here. Hello, I'm new. Hello. Name is Jose JG. Boom. For you. Slightly wider angle now. The camera is mirrored. So what you guys are seeing is mirror right now. Gotta deal with that. You can see more. My shout outs to the glass earth. Shout out to this earth. It's a dude climbing. See how the legs go? It's a dude climbing this earth. This is the climbing earth. Shout out to this one, rumbling earth, and the squeaky earth, of course. Hey, baby frog, what do you think? Mabbit. Oh yeah. Yeah, he says it's okay. So we're gonna do this just for him. We got our shout outs. Mabbit. Yeah, Papa Frog. Mabbit. Yeah, mama. You guys looking at the show? Yeah, I never know if you're watching at the screen or not. You're watching at this laptop right here, dear mama. Papa, you're watching at this laptop and that laptop at the same time. And then Baby Frog, Illuminati confirm, I only see one eye. Shout out to the JG Earth is here. And this is meant to say, warning, no stupid people beyond this point. Uh-oh, the rock climber fell. Let me jam it in there. Okay, he's okay. Thank you for watching. I see C4, Howard Moore, Real Cygnus, Tiny Captain, Fred Bailey, Martin, and Farmer's Boy. Thank you very much for being here. Fantastic. I'm going to go and jump to the voice YouTube live. So while I do the switch, you will not hear me for the next 1 minute. Here we go. Hi, we are in. We are back, baby. And this is the camera angle that we get today right now. Mr. Malord, I see you. What's up, man? How the stream looks, how the stream sounds. That's my only question to you guys. And if you're watching this live or recorded, please hit the thumbs up on this video. I'm sorry, I want to look at you, but I cannot read from this far from till where the camera is. I gotta read from this one right here. So bear with me. Please hit a like if you're watching this live or recorded. When the video is up on YouTube and rendered, leave a comment in the comment section. The first comment will be pinned if it is YouTube friendly and not a spam comment. So please do that, and please support. All right, I'm behind, so today we have to do $250 today in super chats on PayPal. I'm just kidding. If I do that, I'll be fucking awesome. But I mean, I don't know. I'm confident that I'm not gonna do that. But I would like to make a few dollars. So if anybody can support, there's super chat or PayPal. I would really appreciate that. I don't want to find myself in situation that I was last month. So please help a little bit, brother out. And we got also Gary Webenga showed up on YouTube land, and we got over here in the Discord. Farmer's Boy and Tiny Captain. What's up, guys?
Hey, mate.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'll sort you out once I've been paid a couple of times. I'm in as much need as the money as you are at the moment, I'm afraid.
I know, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I look at myself in this angle, and I kind of look skinny and hunched like this. I'm just like, yes, thrown in here. Even though I'm like a big belly guy, but that's it. I used to be pumped, big chest, and the chest no went in and it went down to the belly,
Yeah,
it happens.
It does that when you get to a certain age. Quite often.
Yeah. I don't gotta put this much effort. Like, keep pumping it, keep the chest up. And man, just relax the belly out. Let it out.
That's the problem when you spend all day sat in a chair or something.
Man, I know, right?
Yeah.
And doing any job that is either sitting down doesn't require to do these exercise, belly exercises. It just happens.
I mean, I could change my desk to one of those ones you stand up at, but no. No, let's not be silly.
And let's be clear. I mean, that doesn't always happen, because people that work sitting down, a lot of people is in shape. There's just the lazy people. The half of the people that are lazy, that don't want to like take care of their their body and their figure and their health. Then they grow a belly. Sometimes they do. I have, man.
Exercise doesn't match what you eat, so you tend to snack and then you don't exercise, and before you know it, yeah. Oh, so I've been told anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
We got Blue in the house. How you doing, Blue? Blue, somebody just told me after I just scheduled my show, they say like, oh yeah, Blue is going live, like probably like now or 3:30. I said like, damn it. Oh well, so let it be a few shows today. If you still go on with your show, it is what it is. We'll have opportunity to jump here or there.
If we overlap a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. You'll have your handful of people there. I'll have my handful. You got a lot of people over there. I got my handful of people will be hanging in here with me probably, and there's the others, somewhere around there in the inner webs.
There's a bit of overlap.
I can push it out to 4:00. No problem.
That'd be cool, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
Change that. I'll fix that right now.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, probably do a shorter show today. Probably be overlapping, maybe like a half an hour at the end. When you start, I'll probably push it up a little extra half an hour, and then I'll shut it down earlier so we don't overlap. It was my bad. I had to go. I had to go out earlier today, and I couldn't do the show. It was supposed to be.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm reset for 4:00. So.
Thank you. Yeah. Real Signal say Blue was becoming the new Jose. Now Blue is becoming the real Blue. That's better.
Hey, thanks for dropping by yesterday. That was fun.
That was good, man. Oh, yeah. Rumpus was off his horse, man. He was crazy.
Yeah, well, we had to give Rumpus CPR after you left, but I think he's recovered now. He'll make it.
I wanted at the end, when I returned and I tried to keep pushing it, I actually had my sister just pulled up. Hey, and the kids, I said like, yeah, I got something more important to do. I got family in, legit, and they were here for a few hours. It was really cool having my nephews here. But yeah, I wanted to do that. I saw the Rumpus going. I said, no, I gotta bring a little bit of opposite view and fun out. I gotta try to make the Rumpus have a little bit of a sense of humor and don't take this too seriously. Oh no, he wasn't getting it yesterday, Blue.
Rumpus says no. Rumpus does not have a sense of humor, not as we know it. It was funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. I had to like Rumpus, but let me finish. He was there. He was so triggered because I was so wrong in what I was. I mean, he was just not getting where I was coming from. I tried to just present it as the level of people that is not going to understand what he's trying to say. There are a lot, like not just me, flat earthers and the people that they say like, yeah, I think I get it, but the think I get it is not I get it. I try to make it, explain it a little slower, a little easier. And I know it's in your show is more higher caliber, people understand better, not like here it's just a shit show, right? But still, I try to, mix it up a little bit. He wasn't getting it. Fucking A, man.
A little bit of shit show is kind of fun. And I thought it was hilarious, actually. I muted myself and sat here and laughed my ass off at you guys.
Yeah, it was funny. I enjoy that, man. I mean, and you guys know my style. I like pushing on people's buttons a little bit. And I knew as soon as I say I don't understand it and try to make a silly comment about his graph, he was going to lose his shit. And hey, indeed, it happened, man. As predicted.
Here's the deal. If you take your button and put it in your fucking pocket, nobody can push it.
That's it, man. Yeah. Good times, man. Rumpus is ace. He's up for the game. I mean, he got thick skin because he insists. He just doesn't rage quit and quit because somebody, for whatever reason, he just pushed through it. Even though he get mad and he get triggered, but he's got thick skin still because he's still in the discussion and he engages with people,
Oh yeah, Rumpus will hang in there like a rusty fish hook.
Yeah, and he's obviously got thick skin because you'll find him going over to places like Bev's all the time, and you sort of think, really, what are you going in there for? And they're all sort of winding him up, and he just seems to thrive on it.
He loves the fights. What I think.
I think so.
Yeah, he likes that. And when wherever he goes, like let's say he goes into a bar and people start looking at bad in a wrong way, give me a fucking drink, god damn it. And you shut the fuck up. And everybody's coming to him. He's not going to leave the bar. People are going to beat him up and he's going to take the beat and then people got to push him out of the bar, That's the type of guy that Rumpus is.
You got to love him.
That's it. Was that a good analogy, Farmer's Boy? I mean, right?
I don't think he'd get like that in a pub or a bar.
I mean in the internet. Have you ever on the internet?
Oh, yeah, on the internet. Yeah, I mean, having spent some time with the chap in real life, on the side of a riverbank in the arse end of bloody nowhere. Yeah, no, not in real life, but it's like Blue says, on the internet, he just seems to thrive on it.
Yeah, on the internet, the analogy I did, I meant to say, on the internet, the behavior is like that. Like, I imagine in the internet to be in a bar and he just go in and he just steers shit up and he doesn't give a fuck. He let people beat him up and then you want me to shut up and don't keep insulting you, then you got to keep me out of the bar. That's the guy he is on the internet.
Yes. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, he is very much. I mean, an awful lot of what you hear is actually the Rumpus. It's him. It's his personality. It's his idiosyncrasy, shall we say? I mean, what you hear is pretty much what you get, which is not a bad thing. It's not an act. He's not playing a character. What you hear is what you get. And
exactly,
I can't fault him for it. He is a great chap. Don't get me wrong. There were times where I was like, okay, Captain Ted, but no, he's He's a nice guy. He is a genuinely nice guy. As long as you know what he's like, and I think we all do.
Yeah, just a bit of a low tolerance level at times.
Yes.
Also,
I think it's like a lot of us.
Where you were, yeah. Well, where you and I might say, "Oh, bullshit," or "I disagree with you," or "Yeah, you're wrong." Rumpus just says, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, and maybe because he spent so much time arguing with these idiots that it's easy for him just to say, "You're an idiot," because he's absolutely right. They are idiots.
I try not to do that. I don't see any point in pointing out the obvious. Clearly, I'm talking to an idiot if I'm talking to a flat earther. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need to say anything else.
True
that. Amen. I heard that I cannot picture Rumpus as a teacher, as a grammar school teacher, I don't know, like elementary teacher or something like that, right, for kids, right? Because he said, all right, so I can't imagine having the exercise of having kids read parts of the book or the paper or whatever they're studying, the chapter. Can you read the sentence one? Little Peter, yes, okay. Blue was he said, no. Blue was becoming your day. No. He will stop you. He's going to read it the right way. He's not going to let you stutter. He's not going to let you hesitate, you know? Poor kids.
Rumpus, no. No, not a teacher. No, just no.
Rumpus will stop you and say, I told you to read it. You know?
Yeah, no, I can't see him standing up in front of a class of kids and patiently teaching them something. No, I can't picture that at all.
Yeah, I think that's the worst example, to having kids read something or do a mathematical problem. Can you just do this little multiplication problem, just break it down on the chalkboard in the front, and the kid like shaking the chalkboard like, where do I start? No, here, I'll do it. You've been doing it for you.
I wouldn't mind helping teaching kids how to read, because sometimes it can be quite amusing, because when they come across a word that they've never heard before, and you get this in adult life when people have heard words but never seen them written down, and this is getting more and more prevalent, I think, these days. And when they try to pronounce, case in point. It's words that they've heard but they've never seen written down, or words that they've seen written down and they've never heard them spoken, and that can get quite amusing sometimes. But that's part of education, broadening your vocabulary and everything. But it does help when kids want to read in the first place.
You have to have certain a degree of patience that is like,
yes,
almost like a saint. You have to be chosen by the higher being to be there to teach a kid how to read and to listen and be patient. Man, not everybody can do it.
I'd happily help them how to read, because I love reading so much, and it'd be nice that if you could help other people get into reading as much as you do. I think that'd be quite satisfying.
I have a very high form of dyslexia. I can still not read and write proper.
Yeah, true. Yeah, still struggle. People, adults struggle and reading.
Dyslexia is a real, that can be a real hindrance to that sort of thing.
Can get flipped, the B and the P and whatever, the 6 and the 9s, and not only letters and words that are similar, like the opposite flipped, still like certain things that they just can't read it. It just gets scrambled in their mind.
And some people just don't like reading anyway.
Like me, I don't. I mean, I actually liked reading, but reading either small stories or chapters of books or sentences and paragraphs and small stuff. But as for whole books and novellas and shit, and like whole stories, like big ass book, no, I couldn't read past 2 or 3 pages of anything.
I've got at least a dozen on the go on the Kindle at any one time, plus physical books. I can't imagine not reading. you know, each to their own.
Yeah, I read in Spanish. I read a lot. I also like in a little bit of a hot mic, Marble Merman. It's like reading the poem in Spanish, poems, and poems in Spanish, like old school with like very Spanish words and like from the African root words, all that really cool stuff. You got a lot of dragging the R's and saying words and reading sentences that like sound very African, very cool.
Yeah. What is Marvel Merman up to?
Marble Merman, you got a hot mic, or you're trying to figure out your microphone, or what's going on there? Maybe you can mute yourself until you figure it out, man. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, you guys are witching, or you guys?
Come again. Try that again. Oh dear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Figured it out. Yeah, something's not working out.
Cross, you had enough of that yesterday in blues. Poor old George.
All right, try now, Marble.
Okay, gee, yeah, I had to switch my phone. Okay, repeat the question again.
I don't even remember if I asked the question.
I think we was asking you what you was up to because you were hot micing all over the place, and then of course when you started talking, we couldn't understand what you were saying.
Oh, I was playing my Switch. Sorry, I put that on mute. My bad.
No, that's cool.
Oh, good, yeah. We got Earth's Life is here in the house too.
Good morning from Hawaii, gentlemen. How does my mic sound?
Sounds
okay. Yep, sounds okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, just on my way into the office this morning. I pop in and say, how's it going?
Nice. You see, Earth's Life is one of the person that actually a lot of part of his day he works sitting down a lot. You do a lot of sitting down work, right? Earth's Life, but
not honestly, not necessarily. Well, when I'm in my office, yeah, but most of the time I'm not even in my office. Like yesterday, I was actually at a shooting range all day, and I was standing up all day.
Yeah,
standing up all day loading ammunition.
Do you think if you were working sitting down all day, will you lose your shape and you grow a big belly?
Well, the way my metabolism is, I don't think so. I
didn't think that before.
I can literally eat donuts and anything I want, and I for some reason will not gain any weight. But I'm pretty active. I'm always at the gym, always playing basketball, so I don't think so. I mean, I can sit down for a long time, but I would literally have to sit down and just not do anything for my metabolism to slow down. Even then, I don't think that would be enough.
But that's it. You got your second your active life. Even if you work sitting down all day, you still got to do a lot of physical work aside work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to say that. Yeah, I got a high metabolism. I'm always moving and doing stuff around, and I still do it in the afternoons and in the mornings and whatever. I do stuff. I move around, but still, the body just didn't keep me in shape, and I just started getting the old man fat. The hell.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been playing sports like all my life, so I mean, maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe I think most people it's their genes. Like if you have people in your family who are like kind of overweight, then it's gonna come out in your genes as well. Like my sister, her side of the family, they're all pretty big, so that's how she came out. But my side of the family, there's like no big people at all. So I don't know. Maybe
I got the same. Yeah, my dad's side, they're bigger people. Not all, actually. It's like half and half. But half of my father's side of the family, they're all big fat people. My mom's side, they're all more slim, like almost everybody.
Right. Yeah, I think your genes have a lot to do with it.
Yep. Did Gary Wabenga bring his rubber bands? Gary Wabenga, if you're there, bring come on in and bring your rubber bands with you.
I was over on Geo's last night. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I haven't been.
Yeah.
I've never been there. Still,
Yeah, we were talking about the 24-hour sun.
what is that over there? A pit of flat earthers where they gather.
Well, first it started off with me and Bandsaw. We were just having a cordial conversation, and then Brian showed up. Brian Leakey. And it's still a cordial conversation. You know how Brian gets a little heated, but it was still fun. And then Rakia showed up, and it just went in the fucking tube.
Well, ain't that funny?
He brought his
Yeah.
he brought his drama in his purse.
Yeah. So what we were talking about was 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and how there's videos of the 24-hour sun. Brian was claiming that the videos that they used to show, the one with the clock, where it shows that you see the sun in the entire video.
And
And
you
then
got
there's another one.
overlap letters like the degrees and the time popping up.
Yeah. And then there's another one where it shows, they're tracking the sun, and I guess there was an argument where the clouds were the same in a certain part of the video, and Brian was claiming that they thoroughly debunked those because of those clouds. That was his claim.
Yeah, they gotta find something that they don't like. They gotta find something that they think is a glitch or a manipulation, and they
Right.
grab onto that in order to deny the big picture.
And
There's that,
and what I
video
broke.
of the-
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's that video of that 24-hour loop, and when you actually end the video, it stops at the start frame. And that's why they say it's the same, and that's why they say they debunked it. But because the last frame they see is actually the same, is the first frame again. And see,
Yeah.
same. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, we were bringing up. I shared with them a channel, which is called Arctic Streams, and the guy literally uploads a video every few days, and of 24 hours of sunlight. Matter of fact, if you go back to like December, all of the videos are like 3 days long, and they're all showing 24 hours of daylight. Now they're not showing the actual sun in the video, which is what their argument was. But what it's showing is literally 3 days of sunlight. But their argument was, well, because it doesn't show the sun, how can we verify the light in the video is coming from the sun?
I mean, where else? What do they think? There's a minivan with a big ass spotlight driving around really far away where you can see it just lighting up. What do they think even in their lives?
Exactly. And then I have a little GIF where it shows some buildings, and it shows the shadows doing circles around these buildings. Because they don't see the sun, it's not a valid video because they don't see the sun.
Reflection
But you can see the
of
light
light onto the dome reflection, if you will, or a ghostly pale reflected light from a solar image that is far, far, far away.
Lemon, it's the sun going in circles around the buildings.
Well, people call fake because of the way that the shadow plays in the images that they present for the Antarctic sun. Very deceptive looking, very fake, like they're posting a fake solar image, when actually what you're seeing is ghostly pale refracted light off of the dome, and or some sort of weird solar image that's way low to the horizon, far away.
Well, Lemon, if you want, I can share the channel with you, and you can go back and look at the 112 different videos showing 24 hours of daylight.
Well, we do agree that there's a lit zone, but it's a lit zone off of reflection of dome or ghostly pale refracted light where the sun is actually very low to the horizon, if it rises above the horizon at all.
So, and it's not only 24 hours, it's like literally 3 days of sunlight. And there's like 112 different videos, and the guy literally posts them every other day. Now, this time of year, you're not going to see the 24 hours of daylight because that doesn't happen at this time of year.
I'll check it out, but with my flat-tarded bias, I can't make any, promises. I can look,
Oh,
but it looks like they have a deceptive fake solar image, peddled by fakery, when the actual reality is ghostly pale refracted light and or reflection of light off said dome.
Well, I mean, you can claim that, but I mean, that's not verifiable. That it, you can try and verify whether or not it's fake instead of just claiming it.
I'm using my own eyes looking at that fake looking imagery because of the way that the shadows work. It doesn't appear seamless, smooth edit. It has a high degree of fake compared to the seamless, smooth, natural looking Arctic 24-hour solar footage. In comparison, I'm sorry, it looks fake.
Where else on Earth would you get nearly 3 days of sunlight?
Like I said, reflection of light off of the dome with the sun far off, and or ghostly pale refracted light where the sun is far, far away but not high in the sky. If it's above the horizon.
But again, how do you explain the other videos where you actually see the sun that's traveling around the viewer?
Obviously, fake solar image put in the sky, but that's not actual as-is footage. The fakery is with that fake solar image put in the sky when actually it's refracted far away or reflected light off of the dome for a generally lit-looking zone, but that's it.
So the only rebuttal is just to call it fake. That's pretty much all you have.
Based off of the way that the shadows play, the way that it is not a seamless edit, you can editing extremely cut and paste. It doesn't look to be the same quality as the seamless, smooth, unedited Arctic footage that looks, much more natural compared to the Antarctic footage, which has a higher degree of fakery.
Okay, well, that's your opinion.
And still, you were talking about the sun lower than the horizon. Thank you for that.
Yeah, there are a few videos. I remember I saw one video that it was days. I think it was, I don't know, like 12 days or something like that. Like a super, it was a short time lapse, so it was light, but it was days on Antarctica. How can we debunk a video like that when it was constantly just like pretty much time lapse of days long of the sunlight? I mean, in the camera angle, you can see the sun most of the times, but then in the back, you can still see the daylight all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it may be my opinion or whatever, like you say, but my opinion is backed by fact. Compared to the Arctic northern footage, Jose, we have a seamless edit that looks smooth, natural, and doesn't look as fakey fake as the Antarctic footage, which has shadows which are playing all over the place, cuts, edits, a solar image in the sky that looks like cut and paste. It's not blocky, sorry. It is still. It doesn't appear to scintillate naturally. It looks like a pasted photo job or something like that.
So you're talking about a specific one, right? A specific video that shows all of those glitchy stuff.
I'll see if I can find a specific example of, over the top fakery that I would say, but based off the way it looks, opinion or fact, I can't go with it. I'm sorry.
But then there are videos like the one I don't. It was a Vivo. I don't even know how that thing. Vimo or Vivo, whatever webpage, that the video of the time lapse of Antarctica, the sun, the daylight in Antarctica for days and days and days in one time lapse didn't have doesn't have any glitch, any hiccups, anything. It's a constant 24 hours for, I don't know, a week or something like that. So because I see a video that look totally fake and got a bunch of glitches, I cannot now say that all the videos are gonna be like that when there are videos that don't have any glitch and they don't have any hiccups on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I have the video, the one on Venmo.
On Venmo, yeah.
I think it's this one. Let me see. Yep, here it is. So it's in Daily Blue and Uncensored. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. I'll try to screen share that. Let me see if I can pop that up. Yeah. Woo! And I got the screen share, and then I'll turn off my camera so we get it better. go live. Turn off this camera and watch my stream for YouTube land. All right, we should have it in there. And okay, yeah, those are my two accounts, my emails, no big deal. You can email me to those if you want. What does the sun do at the pole? I did an all pole. Only at the pole, the sun circles around the horizon 24 hours. Here is the time lapse of nearly 5 days, March 8 to 13 of 2017. So only a few days until sunset. So in the course of 360 degrees, the sun moves a bit closer to the horizon. Okay. We're gonna hit play this. It's muted. So
Yeah, mute.
yeah, good. And I'm gonna share the link. Yeah, it's muted.
Okay.
I got no sound on it, so it's good. I'm gonna reshare the link on the Daily Boom on Sensor, so we can save this video on our end, Lemonbird, so you can copy and paste the link on your private messages or something, so you can have it to later watch it by frame, analyze it, download it, do whatever you want. And I hope that we can maybe come back to it and say like, hey, this is the fakery or this is legit. Hopefully we can actually come back to it in a long time. Now I'm just playing it as it is,
Look at it, ghostly, pale. The shadows are just dancing all over the place. This doesn't look quite like the Arctic. That weird sun effigy up there with those stars going out like some sort of weird star shape or something. We don't see that in the Arctic. I mean, it's just kind of like, it looks like a deceptive photo edit. I would say at best that it's a reflected image off of the dome or refraction, if that. I mean, hell, what are we even looking at? Look at how it makes that circular image like it's shining off of the dome. They're probably closer to the dome, and at best you're getting some sort of weird, ghostly, pale effigy or some sort of refracted light off of the dome. That's it.
Are we or are we not looking at the sun, Lemon?
That's a good question. Are we looking at a reflection of the sun where the sun's far away, the sun itself? I would say this is probably some weird photo fake job, but I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go down there and see it with my own eyes.
Good. Let us know when you get back.
Yes, and you can go to the Antarctic if you want.
Looking at this, me myself, very skeptic mind. I don't see anything wrong, off, or sketchy about it. Now over here we see we can see the effect of the biggest glare of the sun, and then when we got more clouds, then we started to get the actual sun. I don't care about the glare. I care about it is above the horizon, going around in 360 degrees. 5 days on a row. It's crazy. It looks legit. I don't see any fakery with it. I don't have to deny anything about this.
Can I share something quickly? Because
Yeah, I'll share you. If you want to share, I'll screen share you for YouTube. And welcome back, man. Good to see you, brother.
Well, yeah, screw the Antarctic. There's a lot better examples. So, well, I say a lot better examples. You don't have to go to the to the Antarctic. There's actually a Polish lookout station up here. So let's have a look at this.
All right, I encourage us to click and watch the Stingray's screen share in real time. So click on his name and join his stream. I stopped screen sharing so we can all go and watch his screen share.
Yeah, so up here, I ain't going to butcher names at all. But up here on this little land mass, way up here above Norway and Sweden, there's a lookout station. And it just so happens that you can get 24-hour sun here as well. And I've actually simulated this on my Earth model as well. And what's
Hold on, let me tell Lemonbird, look at his screen share so we can see if we can spot any fakery. You're not watching Stingray's stream now.
Yeah, but Stingray, the thing is, it has to be at the Antarctic. That's the one that's in contention.
Yeah, but I mean, this here is 24-hour sun at the Polish station in the north, in the Arctic. But what's fascinating with this is it never dips below the horizon, and I matched it perfectly on the globe model just by rotating the globe, and it does this path exactly. It's fantastic. So unless any flat earther can say, actually, no, look, we've mapped it out and it matches this path on a flat plane, then, or like when Lemon claims it's fake, well, that's fine. Well, your flat earth is fake. You need to substantiate that with a little bit of meat, or it's just your opinion.
What latitude is that at? Arctic. We're at the Arctic. The Arctic one's not a problem. This says Arctic midnight sun. Arctic. That's in the north. Arctic. No problem with the Arctic one. No problem whatsoever. It's the Antarctic one that is the problem. Why are we going to the Arctic one? There's no problem with the Arctic one. The Antarctic one's the problem.
Oh, so you agree
Your
with
video
it?
says Arctic, midnight sun. Why are we going to the Arctic?
All right. So you agree that this is valid then, correct?
I'm not doing your trick questions. Is it the Antarctic or not?
No, yeah, but the thing, let me clarify. On the North Pole, near the Arctic, it works. Everything works as it's supposed to be on a flat plane. I have heard Lemon saying that there's no issues with the places on the 24-hour sun near the northern hemisphere, near the North Pole. But then we got a big issue with the South Pole and the Antarctic Circle. There's where we don't have a 24-hour sun. Is what I have heard.
That's fantastic, Jose. I get that. So my question to Lemon is, do you accept this as evidence that in the Arctic there is 24-hour visible sun?
He might be having issues with the phone.
Yes, he will.
Lemon, come back. I want to hear if we don't have any issues with the 24-hour sun in the Arctic.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I don't want to talk for you. I have heard you saying that, but I don't want to talk for you. I want you to either agree or disagree that there's an issue or not with the 24-hour. Earth is life. Sorry, go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, then they have to figure out the 24 hours of darkness, the other part of the year.
Well, I see where Stingray is going. I don't really want to spoil it.
Arctic
Okay.
is not a problem, but I need to prepare for Stingray's trick question. This is probably the Antarctic.
Hold on, let's give Lemon a break.
No problem. What is it, Stingray? What's your trick question?
It's not a trick question. He says the Arctic midnight sun here. It gives you the lat long in the video, and I posted the link in the YouTube chat. There is nothing tricky about this. I'm saying
Gotta watch out for you because you put out trick questions, but the Arctic one isn't a problem, Stingray. So why are we talking about that?
All right. So you accept this as evidence that in the Arctic there is 24-hour sun, correct?
Oh my God, why do I have to be so repetitive with you, Stingray? I said yes. Jesus, quit it with your trick questions and just get on with it. The Arctic one isn't a problem.
Awesome. So this exhibits the same kind of lens flare that you've got a problem with down south. Can you tell me the difference where you would accept this because it supports your narrative, but looks exactly like the one in the South polar regions?
No, it doesn't. The one in the South looks like a fake starfish or whatever. It doesn't quite have the same starfish effect. It has much more organic playing of the light. It scintillates, it shines. It has a much more texture to the color. It just looks more natural. The one in the South looks like a fake starfish. It looks like a fake picture superimposed into the sky.
That's the lens.
Can we just analyze one of those things? Can you
It's
explain
the fake Photoshop.
texture in the color of light? What do you mean by texture in the color of light? I'm interested.
The one in the South has this fake-looking still scintillation. It looks like a X that's been, frozen in time. This one looks more organic. The light plays, the light dances. The texture is much more smoother from sky to the light. So it just looks much more genuine. I'm sorry. Are you saying this one was fake like the one in the South too?
Oh, obviously that's exactly what I'm saying, Lemon, because they were the words that came out of my mouth. Did you not hear it?
Look at those shadows. They are seamless and smooth. No weird dancing all over the place and flickering and stuff like that, like it's a bunch of weird photo edits. This is
Oh, I
seamless,
think it's
smooth, and
nice.
looks natural.
You
The
mean
South
shadows?
does not.
Nice
One's
sharp
at a
shadows, like when the sun is up. Yeah, I see that.
All right. I got a comment to read, and then we'll bring it back down because a lot of people just join, and we're trying to have a nice back and forth conversation with a big group. Lemon Bird, has some, we're trying to present Lemon Bird with something, and we're expecting us to give Lemon Bird opportunity to answer, and everybody's not going to jump on him. So please be patient. Let me read a comment. I got a first donation today, and this is very important. It's by Bigus Dogus. Is actually $7. Thank you, Bigus. A little something. Things are a bit tight in here at the moment too. Hey, thank you, Bigus, brother. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Thank you. All right, where were we? Who wanted to have a go?
I was going to mention the starfish effect that he's calling out. That has to do with the blades of the aperture. That's what their light is diffracting off of, is causing that the appearance of that radiating outward.
It's just lens flare. That's what happens.
It's just a
It's
fake
bits inside the
starfish
camera
in
can
the refracted, ghostly southern sky.
Yeah, a tremendous amount to do. I think that one in the Antarctic runs for about 5 days, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. One's 5 days, and this one is how long?
24 hours.
1 day, isn't it?
1 day.
Okay.
Hold on.
When you cut the frame. Sorry, that was it.
I just want to say, hold on, share a link that it is 15 days midnight sun in Antarctica. I'll share the link in a minute over here. Go ahead, sorry about that.
And when you multiply the frame rate by a factor of 5, you're going to get that jumpy looking of time lapse. A lot of time lapses with Cavendish. I learned a lot about time lapse doing it. That's what happens.
Because the central premise of this globe nonsense is that we're getting mirrored activity in the north and the south. Yet we're talking about what, a 24-hour edit here? Can we get a 24-hour edit that is seamless and smooth in the south, or not?
Yeah.
I think he's about to show you one.
Yeah, there's loads, Lemon. And it's funny how the path of the sun always matches up with the actual direction that will be predicted by rotation of a sphere given a given month and location. Weird that. All of them just do. These guys that are faking it must be really awesome.
See, it's fake in the Antarctic because it has to be fake.
Do you know what I don't get, B-Ball? I don't get why I've never seen the real sun do what it's supposed to on a flat, motionless plane.
Yeah.
It's weird that, right? It's weird how we only ever see fakes of this sun. I don't get it. Love to see a real video.
All right, this video that I'm screen sharing, if anybody want to click, it is 14 minutes, 39 seconds long. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to maybe play 5-10 seconds and then skip, in different parts. You guys got to watch it on your own. And I don't want to get in trouble with Joe Leonard for this video. Shout out to him for
mute the audio for sure.
Yeah, I did. So I'll play and I'll skip a little bit in the meanwhile. So I'm just gonna put it in the background. You guys can have the mic. You guys go ahead. I'm not gonna say nothing. I mean, this is just where you guys did speak.
Meanwhile, Lemon, I hear you use this word effigy. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It means a fake image where the actual thing with substance is elsewhere or of another nature than what's presented.
Okay.
Nope.
People who use optics say
usually it's in the context of burning something in effigy.
Yes.
Are we burning the sun in effigy?
The sun is a burning light. I guess some context or some similar context is available for that definition there too. But you're seeing a fake image that is reflected off of the dome, that effigy, or a fake image that is refracted in the air over here when the actual object is kind of closer to over here or of some sort of other nature than what's presented to the eye. Like the fake effigy dummy that is burned in protest against a politician or against some sort of political figure.
Yeah, you mean another word, Lemon. You're misusing this one.
Yeah, that's a non sequitur. That's the non sequitur of the day.
Perhaps you're trying to get me to shut up and submit myself to the conditioning from these Jesuit schools. Is that what you're trying to do, and say that I can't use these words in any other way than the rigid way prescribed by the schools?
Well, see,
If that's the case, then I reject that premise entirely.
Words mean
He
things,
never
Lemon.
said that.
No. No,
It appears to
don't
be
shut
what
up.
you're implying.
No,
No,
words mean
don't
things,
shut up.
Lemon. If you mean something, you should use the correct word instead of a word like effigy.
Let's go to the
words
dictionary, gentlemen. Let's hold
and
on
words
just
like
a second.
Okay.
and yeah, and hold on. And words like Jesuits were against Galileo because he said the
Yeah.
Earth was a sphere. Those
These
bastards.
people are so good at mind control. They'll look like they're against something to play both sides and play mind
Wow.
games on the people that are
So
watching
he can
this
be
stuff
both
play
for it and
out.
against it at the
They
same time.
wanted heliocentrism.
No, they didn't, Lemon. They were against it at first. Fuck.
Well, we got it. We got to not do this payrasa shit what you came in to do. What you do every day, we're not gonna do it today. Okay? Thank you.
Fair enough.
My question is, why does it have to be fake whenever it comes from Antarctica? Lemon. It seems like every time we talk about this, with any flat earthers, it either has to be doctored images or doctored photos or video, or it doesn't actually happen. Either it doesn't exist or it's fake.
Well, it looks like they're trying to present this mirror globe model where the same more or less happens in the north south, just mirrored. If we're on a flat plane, that would not be expected. So perhaps the need to fake these images is to peddle globe propaganda that otherwise couldn't be peddled without putting a fake image of the sun in the ghostly pale wash of the refracted or the dome reflective sky of the south.
Well, when I looked at both images, the sun looked virtually the same. And also, let me ask you another question. Let's say if we did live on a globe that was tilted, and the southern pole was tilted towards the sun, do you think we'd be able to have a 24-hour daylight in the south?
Supposedly, yes. I'm well aware of the normie model and what we're expected to answer for this stuff. That's what we would expect, sure.
I want to comment something. This channel where this video come from is pretty much a gaming channel, and he talk a bunch of random stuff. I don't think this is even related to flat or globe Earth. This is just a cool video that this person just wanted to share and put up this Antarctica 24-hour sun type thing video. Have nothing to do. He got some zoom in, some stars, He got mostly video game stuff and other random stuff. So this has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth argument. He's just a guy who, besides gaming, he likes a little bit of astronomy and stuff. So big shout out to him. This is not propaganda. That video of the 15-hour sun, nothing to do with propaganda whatsoever. This is just person sharing a very cool observation that happens in reality with all of us. And I shout out to him and I subscribe. Joe Leonard.
And also, let's make sure it's 24 hours of daylight. Because if you say sun, they're going to say, well, we don't see the sun, so we don't know if the light is actually coming from the sun. So we have to say...
Well, in this one, 15 days of midnight sun. I mean, and we say the 15 days we see the sun traversing over here in the sky. What happens in behind it? I don't know. It's just a steady camera. So I shout out to this. That is uninterrupted, a solid video. Yeah.
Right. But we got to say it's sunlight. Like, it's daytime. We don't see the sun, but we know that it's light outside because of the sun.
I'm interested, Lemon. Do you have any example of any light that doesn't follow the inverse square law?
Not that I can find. I don't know of an example like that.
Yeah, because I've tried searching light, because obviously if it's a flat, motionless, beautiful plane, a person in Florida and a person in the, let's say, I don't know, Rio de Janeiro, and a person in southern Argentina, they'd all be able to take out a light meter and get different intensity readings from the sun quite dramatically. But weirdly, when they do, it's as if the sun's millions of miles away, because their little meters will all have the same intensity. But if it's a beautiful, flat, motionless plane, that wouldn't be the case. And it'd be very dark in Argentina as well, southern. But it isn't. It's weird, that.
Well, the light is there, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be seen as a 2D image that's recognizable. We have light that's traveling through space too, Stingray, yet it is extremely dark. The way they get around that is by saying, oh, to see the light, you need to see the light interact with something. So really, it's not just the presence of light with this inverse square law nonsense. It's also the way that it interacts with the object that's pivotal as well. So we can have inverse square law all day and every day. That doesn't mean that it will necessarily interact with an object, number one, in a way that we can detect, and number two, that we will make it out as a 2D image, inverse square law or not. So the inverse square law becomes somewhat irrelevant. The question is the sunlight interacting with the atmosphere and or our eye in any sort of appreciable way that we can sense it as a lit zone or interpretable image?
Wow. That is the most amazing thing I've heard in a long time, Lemon. That's even good for you. Yeah, you don't see light unless it hits something. That's how it works. Yeah.
Then why the hell are we talking about this inverse square law garbage when the central thing is how it interacts with the object?
You can measure the inverse square law.
Yeah, you can use a light meter. I mean, as a photographer, I've got a light meter in a bag. But the point about it, Lemon, is let's say, for instance, the sun is 10,000 miles, something like that, or 4,000 miles. It can be any number, because we can actually test this. And when it's directly overhead in, let's say, Florida, where it is, we take out a light meter. We know that someone in the most southern tip of Argentina that can still see the sun is actually about 8,000 miles further away than the 4,000 miles. So they're actually 12,000. The weird thing is, the light intensity from both will read the same. Now that's really weird, because no light acts that way. It only acts that way if the distance or the differential between those two locations across the entire distance that the source is away is insignificant. So it works when you move the sun millions of miles away. It doesn't work if the sun's 4,000 miles away or any light source is 4,000 miles.
If the sun is shining through the firmament, through atmosphere or whatever, Stingray, it could eventually be absorbed and dissipate and just reach a zone of optical extinction where it's nighttime over here, but the lit source or the lit zone is over here. So it could be, 4,000 miles away or at least closer, even with that, with some sort of refractive medium like dome, atmosphere, or whatever, just eventually eating up the light, absorbing it, and the light dissipating.
So we're getting into tired light again, right? Light can only go so far.
The Stingray cannot reach forever.
Hold on. The Stingray.
Yeah.
Your internet is so fast that it's actually cutting up your voice every once in a while. It's like cut.
Yeah, no, I think I asked that wrong, because Lemon, I'm on about a person in southern Argentina and a person in Florida and a person in Canada, Ontario. They can all see the sun at the same time. If the Earth were flat and the sun is directly above Florida, and no matter how high it is, let's say 4,000 miles, the angles don't match. But not only that, the 12,000 miles away that the person in southern Argentina would be has the same intensity of the same light at the same time as in Florida, that's a fraction of that distance. That doesn't work in reality unless the light source is many, many, many millions of miles away.
I mean, it just sounds like you guys write yourself a huge error margin with millions and millions of miles, giving you guys a huge amount of wiggle room. It sounds kind of lazy. The thing is, Stingray, with time zones being a thing with Argentina, South Africa, or whatever you're talking about, I have a hard time believing that these people are seeing the sun at the same temporal time. We're going to need to have a time stamp for Southern Africa, for Argentina, to show that they're seeing it at least the same temporal time based off of time zones anyway, for your thesis to hold. And I don't imagine that it does. I think that the people in Argentina have to wait till the sun circles around to their location to see it during their local time. The people in South Africa have to wait for their local time zone for the sun to circle around like a clock for their local time, and or this other place that you mentioned. Otherwise, I would say yet again, Stingray, we're dealing with refracted light with a bright zone, sure, but no sun necessarily to be seen. That comes from reflection off of the dome in these places that are kind of out toward the further perimeter, the further southern outer perimeter, seeing this lit zone off of the dome with the sun nowhere to be found.
Thank you for mentioning loads of areas that I got no idea about, but I actually specifically
I know, Stingray, you're going to invoke selective ignorance when you don't want to address anything that I said. But you can play a stupid game, Stingray, and keep in mind, stupid games win you stupid prizes.
Hold on, Lemon. I got a question for you, Lemon.
Hold on.
I got a question for you, and then you can go back to it, Stingray. Take a breath and maybe repeat your question, because you mentioned a location and Lemon Bird mentioned 7, but yours. So I got a point by John Rapp says, how can the sun reflection be visible for 24 hours at the south ring, but not closer to the sun circling overhead in the tropics ever? Lemon, you understand the question? And he actually phrased it right. We got a sun reflection visible for 24 hours in the south ring, in the outer southern ring, but not closer to the sun circling overhead in the tropics.
Yeah, in the tropics of Capricorn, that's the furthest southern latitude that the sun goes to, supposedly in this current model, flat or round. So if you're in the south, below the Tropic of Capricorn, below 33 degrees south, the sun should be expected to be low on the horizon. It would be directly overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn, one would expect, circling overhead. And if you're further south than 33 degrees south or whatever, you would expect to see the sun lower and lower and lower on the horizon as you get further and further south from there.
Anyway,
the Stingray, the thing I think your question earlier was about Argentina, something about Argentina, right? Yeah. Maybe try again.
So I didn't mention Africa specifically, different continent, different longitude. So what I said, Lemon, I specifically mentioned Ontario, Canada, Florida, and the southern tip of Argentina, because near enough, there's very little longitude difference between them, which is why they all look at the sun at the same time, as predicted at the exact angle they would do if we were on a sphere, as does every other location at any moment, in any month, at any point of the day. My question was, if it were flat, and all of that was just coincidence that it perfectly matched the globe, then you have to come up with an explanation of why the individual in Florida is really close to the local sun, but the individual in Ontario, Canada is further away, and the person in Argentina is really far away, yet the intensity stays the same. Weird that, right? It's like the globe model just works on everything.
What do you mean the intensity, Stingray? In Ontario, Canada, it's cold. In Florida, it's a little warmer. In South Africa, it's a little warmer. So based off of the temperature, Stingray, the intensity is not the same. Otherwise, if the intensity was the same in all the locations, wouldn't you expect similar temperatures? Obviously, something else is going on here. What token are you using for solar intensity? Angle of the sun? What exactly?
So you can measure in stops, and you use a light meter, and you point the light meter at the source, and it gives you a stop value. Now, when that light meter is perpendicular to the source, when it's accurate, you can do that at every location, and the angle you will choose is the one facing the sun. The weird thing is they correspond to a sphere that's rotating as well. A bit weird, but let's just brush over that. And the intensity of them stays the same. It shouldn't do if the Earth were flat.
So the intensity stays the same and it's a globe, but it would be different if it were flat. I don't get your implication.
Yes.
So we're saying it's the same intensity, therefore a globe, but it's a different intensity, therefore flat.
No,
that doesn't make any sense.
The distance to the sun would change dramatically on a flat Earth.
But that syllogism doesn't appear to hold. On a globe, at the very least, there would be a difference in distance as you go over the globular surface. There is a difference in distance as you go over the flat plane too. Both conditions hold for both. So if you're saying same intensity, therefore globe, even though there's different distance over a globe, therefore same intensity flat based off of the syllogism being worked out in a similar fashion. I don't see how your syllogism hold any other way.
No, this is a close Earth versus a far away, a close sun versus a far away sun.
So you're making an argument for the sun being billions of miles away and having the same intensity over a globe. Well, how about the sun having a similar intensity over a flat plane if you're talking about the necessity of the surface and the distances you travel over the surface for the purposes of the model? If you're talking about, we have this globe model where we have the sun millions of miles away that is so powerful, same intensity despite great distances, we're going to argue the globe for that reason in the syllogism, fine. But as far as I can tell, it's not necessarily the case that it has to be a globe. You could have a sun with similar intensity over a flat plane if you're talking about the necessity of the shape and the distances over the surface. So I don't see what the hell you're talking about.
I've got an example.
So is the sun close or far away, Lemon? That's the question.
No.
Closer.
Let's take this example.
Closer than millions of miles away.
This example is very simple, Lemon. If I've got a light on my desk and that light is giving off 100 watts, and I measure the light intensity at, let's say, 10 meters, and I take that reading, and then I move 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter, 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter, and take another reading. That is the heliocentric model. Now, the flat Earth model would be, I'm 10 meters away, and then in Argentina, I move 40 meters away and take a reading. Well, guess what? That light intensity is dipped well over half down now, given the laws of light. So the important thing to realize is the models are not interchangeable and do not match reality. One does, one doesn't. That's the difference.
Well, I'd have to see the data. As far as I can tell, it could work either way, but I'd have to see the data and I need a baseline. I would need to measure the solar intensity, if any, based off of some baseline. Measuring the solar intensity in the ambient air, say, at day versus night, and have some sort of baseline.
No, Lemon, that's not how it works. You don't
over the flat versus the round Earth. I need to see this data and go from there.
Lemon, you're either purposely misunderstanding the experiment or you're purposely being dim, or you're stupid.
I understand enough to see that it's flat.
No, because we're not talking about measuring.
Go from there.
We're not talking about measuring the sun at day versus night. Everyone knows. Guess what? It's dark at night.
Establish a baseline. Assuming that the sun is nowhere to be found and not adding energy beyond the baseline, we take a baseline reading at night and say, okay, this is our baseline.
It's really hard not to talk over you when you frickin' talk for 5 minutes at a time.
We do not see, as we go over the flat plane globe.
It's really hard to obey Jose's rules and not interrupt you, Lemon, when you go on your freaking rant for 5 minutes at a time and say nothing when you could have said what you...
Not once today, nor in the past month, probably in the past year, have Lemon Bird ever gone past 1.5 minutes at a time talking. Just saying.
Well, his 90 seconds are just garbage, because what he could have just said in 3 seconds is, I don't know, or, you have a good point. But instead he has to go off for 90 seconds on just garbage, Lemon. Because now, what happened, what Stingray K said to you was something very simple. You measured this sunlight intensity in 3 places on the pretty close to the same line of longitude in Canada.
I didn't hear him talk about doing a measurement. Stingray, you did these measurements and you have the data, or are you talking about a hypothetical?
Stingray, he's not visualizing it because he said twice now that
Stingray has actual stuff to go with this hypothetical.
You said that twice that Argentina is in Africa. It's not. It's in South America.
I'm
we
going
need
to
to
assume
draw
that
it out
Stingray
for us.
hasn't actually done this. He's talking about a hypothetical, so I'm going to need to see this data before I can even go further with this stuff with my flat-charted bias. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you do have bias.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stingray.
This following statement, though, is true, though, Lemon. With the distance differential between southern and Argentina, which is in South America, and Florida, with the distance differential and any close proximity of the sun, 4,000 miles, 10,000 miles, in the middle of the day, they would have to have the street lights on. It's that simple. You can work this out.
Well, hypothetically, Stingray, I guess I could see whatever the hell you're talking about. But if the crux of your argument is we have a sun of the same intensity because it's millions of miles away and the globe's curvature makes no bit of difference, well, then that argument weakens the claim as to the necessity of the shape of the globe being a factor at all, because we're talking about the shape of the surface that we're on. If your argument is effectively the shape of the Earth is irrelevant because we have this huge, big sun that's millions of miles away with the same intensity all over the Earth's globular surface with no difference, based off of the surface, that's not good for the argument of the shape of the Earth at all. That's talking about the sun's intensity, sure, and an element of the model where you say you have this big sun that's millions of miles away, but not necessary for the shape itself. So the argument as a syllogism is a little fallacious if we're arguing about the shape of the Earth versus this element of your model where you explain similar solar intensity over a ball with this huge sun that's millions of miles away. That's another thing that would need to be proved, really. That's another element of your story, sure. But what about the shape of the surface that we're on? That's the thing.
I agree. Lemon, I agree with everything you just said in the very small, narrow way that you explained it. So now we can agree that in order for that distance between Argentina, Brazil, Florida, New York, and Ontario, Canada, all of that line, because they share the same light intensity, are almost equidistant from the sun. Absolutely brilliant. Now the problem with that is if that distance is near on 16,000 miles, we can now work out, obviously a little bit roughly, that the sun would have to be many millions of miles away for that statement to be true based on what we can measure. For it to be many millions of miles away, we can now work out the angle on a flat plane, and guess what? It would always be straight. Now we can move to the next argument. It's a sphere, and it works.
All right, I gotta read something. You see, the Stingray is doing the same. Roughly a minute talking. John Rapp with $2 Australian dollar super chat. Thank you very much, John Rapp. I appreciate that, man. I didn't even hear the cows and the cowbell, but I hope you guys did hear cows and cowbells when the super chat came up. Lemon deliberately misunderstands derp responsibly. Thank you very much, John Rapp. Shout out to you. Lemon, any answer to Stingray?
Well, as far as I can tell, there's a bunch of elements to this story that need to be, falsified. We're talking about a sun that has similar intensity over a ball, but it looks like you guys just wrote yourself a huge error bar. We could just have a sun that's small, local, with, fairly uniform intensity, assuming what you say is true and not just more than the hypothetical. We could just have the sun shining in the dome, with that dome being like a magnifying glass, making the intensity more or less uniform as long as it's up in the sky. I can see several possibilities for this over a flat plane with little to no issue.
A dome like a You mean a magnifying glass that needs to be radially symmetrical and uniform in every, whereby if you move slightly left or right, it incredibly distorts. And if you move backwards and forwards, it can even fucking invert and change size dramatically. That kind of magnifying.
A big distorting surface, potentially.
How? But magic only for one person.
Well, we are already talking about a few magical elements, Stingray.
Yeah,
this gravity thing that passes through objects like a ghost, grabs onto things like a tractor beam, and somehow pulls them to the center of mass as if it's this ghostly occultic thing, we're already dealing with a fairly high degree of magic, assuming gravity is a thing with an essence like me. When I push through a crowd, I'm pushing stuff out of the way to grab onto the, person that, is with me at the club or whatever and bring them to the bar in both ways in a two-way fashion because I have essence. I exist as a physical thing. If you're saying, gravity, this thing that's necessary to prop up your model, is this ghostly thing that can reach out like a ghost with no materiality or whatever, grab onto something like a tractor beam and pull it in, that's pretty magical.
Do you know what we call that, Lemon? Gish galloping. Not once did I mention gravity, and not anything that I
was pointing out the hypocrisy of you saying magic when you have a magical element yourself that you've hypocritically glossed over for your preferred model. It happens, sometimes we are so, enamored with our viewpoint, we don't see the inconsistencies within it. That's why we need somebody else with another bias to point out the bullshit.
Can I shout out Super Chat and then Stingray? Shout out to Leel for a big $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Leel. I appreciate that, brother. And Leel says, Lemonbirds repeat himself 6 different ways in 1.5 minutes. Why allow that? I accept your feedback and your criticism. Lemonbird, do you think that's what you're doing, repeating yourself for 1.5 minutes? Lemonbird has left the building.
Of course he has.
He left.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
I think this timer is necessary sometimes when a person like either Lemonbird, the Rumpus is here. Maybe somebody that maybe Gary Webenga too. We need a timer up on screen every once in a while.
I agree with that. I agree with that idea.
And they must be watching the screen share. They must follow the time they're talking. They say, bullshit, I didn't speak for a minute. Oh yeah, you spoke for whatever, minute and a half, 2 minutes.
There might be a plugin for Discord or a plugin for OBS that might be able to detect that automatically, Jose.
I love it, yeah, it must be. Yeah. Hold on says, honestly, we don't need 3 times moo and cowbells. It makes it difficult to hear the discussion. 1 is okay, but 3 is too many. This message cost 2 cents. Shout out to Hold On, man. Thank you very much.
I need to send another super chat saying we need more cowbell louder.
All right. I know, and I actually did it on purpose because it just gets annoying because it makes it difficult for the discussion to be heard. So if you guys don't like what you're hearing, if you guys don't want to hear Lemonbird just talking, just give me super chats and then we got a 10-second solid of cows and cowbell in between. I mean, it's your choice to shut them up that way,
That's a good way, actually.
Jose, I don't mind hearing Lemonbird, don't get me wrong, but if in his statement, if he repeats himself 6 different ways, we understand the first way. Why does he need the 5 other ways? That's what I'm annoyed with in that minute and a half.
Because he's explaining it the way he understands it, then the way the globe understands it, then the way the other flat earthers understand it, then the way the laymen understand it, and then for people like want to be explained like they're 5. That's why.
Yeah, but if I'm asking what his opinion on something is, why does he need to tell me what 5 other people's opinion is?
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Blue. He's having a stream over there. I'm going to let this one roll a little bit later, but but thank you, Hold On, for the feedback about the cows and the cowbell. Yeah, when you guys think somebody's just going talking, they say, no, I got to stop this. Then you just throw a super chat and instantly it will pop up a cow and cowbell for everybody. You guys haven't heard that, right? I mean, not everybody has. Let me see. Let me go back for this cowbell if I find it. It's difficult because I don't know timestamp. It was somewhere here. Oh well. I'm gonna find it.
I do want to admit something, Jose. I do repeat myself multiple times.
Yeah, you do.
But I stay on the exact same point, like say the same exact way. And it seems flat earthers, because my point is so simple and easy to understand, purposely don't answer my point.
And I like to keep things simple. First, they like to complicate things and be redundant, and by saying things like temporal time. It's like, okay, as in non-temporal time.
Okay, for those watching my screen share, this is watch my screen share. This is how it sounds when we get a super chat. This is the sound that it makes. Hold on, here we go.
Now, the problem with that is if that distance is near on 16,000 miles, we can now work out, obviously a little bit roughly, that the sun would have to be many millions of miles
There
away
you
for
go.
that.
That's the party that we have going on as super chats are coming in. Unnecessary? I don't think so. I think it's a good strategy. You just must utilize it the correct way. Now, for the right donation, I can make a soundbite of, let's say, Leel saying lemon bird 3 times every time you get a super chat, or saying rumpus 3 times, or saying shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up 3 times, you know, or 1 time maybe.
I think if you did the Discord bot saying lemon bird, lemon bird, lemon bird, and played it right as Farmer's Boy came into the Discord, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I might have to change it. I have to do a different soundbite for every different thing, and expect to get at least 1 super chat to test it. What do we have in the interwebs? Who's live? Because I got to do a bunch of things over here. All right, let's see who's in my subscription feed.
One of your sound bites could be Rumpus saying, "You utter moron." That would be good.
That's good. Yeah, it's great. It's actually really nice. What's going on with my internet? Why is it so slow, man? Hell? It doesn't show me the menu. What the hell? Saying right? Oh well. We got Blue, Marvel Science live with a bunch of people. Double the amount of people I got here. That's good because he got 20 times the amount of subscribers I got. So he better have a lot more people than I do. Oh shit. Shout out to Blue. I exaggerated, it's not 20 times the amount of people subscribers. He's got 7,340 subscribers. That's good. 6 times more people than I have. Should we get out of here early today? I'm happy with that. Take care of the dogs early and do other stuff and eat. I'm kind of getting in. I got great news. Great news. Let me turn on my camera. For those who are still hanging in here, listening, fantastic news. My dad in Puerto Rico, he had his surgery and it was a total success. Thank you everybody for keeping my dad, my family in your thoughts and keeping them in your best wishes and your prayers and whatever the way you thought, because I know even those who doesn't agree with the argument, we want the best for our people and the rest. For those who actually wish us good luck, thank you very much. It was a simple thing. It was a modern little incision under the nipple, and they inserted a little piece of something in the heart that kind of keep the blood flowing the way it should be. It wasn't a big open heart surgery. It wasn't something big, but he's an older guy. He's 79. He'd be 80 now on April 25th. So he's an old guy to having a delicate surgery. Thank you very much, everybody, for keeping in good touch, and long life to Herminio Gonzalez. Long live Herminio. That's good times. Thank you so much. And yesterday I received a package and I got a bunch more candies from him. So the more he lives, the more candies we have. Woo! And this is a shirt that came with the package. Puerto Rico. Love it. Good times. Yeah. Yeah, I was asked. Somebody asked me a few days ago, "Hey, like everything good with your dad in Puerto Rico?" So thank you for keeping up. Just needed to say that, and I am really happy for me, for my family, for him, for my mom. I don't know what my mom would do when when he's not anymore, or I don't know what my dad would do when she's not anymore. They've been together for 52 years, I think. Woo! It's a long time. Hell's the year. That being said, let's get some final thoughts and get out of here. Rufus, what you got? Chaik, final thoughts. We're gonna go and troll Blue over there for a little bit.
I came a bit late, but yeah, it was quite good the little time I was here. Thank you.
Yeah, good times. Blue Marble Science is live, and we're gonna hopefully, if you guys get a little extra time, jump over there and say hi, and maybe giving a hard time. I'm gonna probably go and troll responsibly for 5 or 10 minutes and then get out of here. Earth is live. Final thoughts.
Hey, good show, and also congratulations on your father's successful surgery. Yeah. What do I gotta say? I'll be probably putting out a video within the next week or 2 weeks or so. I don't know. I've just been really busy. Yeah, 24-hour sun. It happens on the globe model, and it's gonna, except for making shit up. That's all. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you very much. We will appreciate it. And Alem, final thoughts.
Enhorabuena, Herminio. Congratulations to your dad. That's awesome news. So I've got five words. Optical extinction. Wah, wah, wah.
Thank you very much, Alem. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It was a short show today, and we're out of here. Let me find the option. Jose JG out! Boom.